Hey, look, my sticky note works because it's fresh.
Yay.
VSC.
Woohoo, the most dangerous show of the week.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Hi, welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The virtual shopping edition.
Virtual shopping channel edition. We're going to be like super, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look at me micromanaging. That's not a thing.
No.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber. And gonna be a hot mess, rainy Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
It is gonna rain today, right? It looks
like
it's gonna rain today.
This afternoon, probably right before we head out.
It's all my back hurts. I slept funny, so that hurt. It's all rainy and or overcast and yucky out. It's not raining yet.
Tomorrow's going to be rain.
So okay, here is just so I've shown it off. Here is the whisked raglan with all the ends woven in. I wove them in yesterday while I was sitting outside at the shop. So here's what it looks like. It is not yet blocked. I may or may not block it till this weekend, so I can show it off one more time tomorrow for the people who don't watch this show. All right, so VSC edition of the week, and we are putting more sock yarn on sale. If you wanted what we put up last week, you're gonna have to pay full price by the time this is live, but that's okay. Most sock yarn is not super crazy expensive. Most. There's caveats. There's absolute caveats to that, but we have a couple of fun offerings today. We did the online sock yarn. My brain is going a million miles in 6 different directions. Shocker. So we mentioned last week, we'll mention again this week, that it helps if, so there's sock weight and sock content. And sock weight, the thickness of yarn that's usually used for socks is fingering weight. And then there is sock yarn within that. And it's like a Venn diagram. It's like most sock yarn is fingering weight, but not all fingering weight yarn is good for socks. That makes sense.
With sock content, yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, I was about to segue to sock content. What is sock content, Liz?
Sock content is what's
the most important thing about a sock content, regardless of the main fiber?
It's extra stuff added to the main fiber to make it springy, or so like some of it is elastic or some of it is nylon.
Or sometimes people use silk.
Or sometimes people use
if
silk.
Nylon irritates their skin. It's something
it can
to
be
make
a combination of,
yeah, and it can have all. Yeah. It's true. It's most commonly it's nylon. It's something to make it a little more elastic and not sag, and also wear well. And half of this stuff is more the common knowledge I've absorbed owning a yarn shop than my personal experience making tons and tons of socks, because I've probably made about pre-owning a yarn shop, I had one Christmas where I tried to make socks for everybody, and in both my family and my in-laws family, and that was a hot mess. And I didn't use stuff that had proper sock content, so who even knows what happened to the finished socks of those. But in more recent memory, I've maybe finished one pair of socks, and I've started 3 or 4 others.
No, you made socks a couple Christmases ago for hiking socks, but they were on thicker.
So I have some knowledge with the classic cuff down. Yes, Liz is right. I made most of the guys, especially in my family, and actually the women too. No, I think I just did everybody, not the kids. That's what I knew I didn't make it for everybody. I didn't do the kids because their feet are growing. I made them hiking / house socks out of thicker yarn. And the knit along we're doing is not the thicker stuff. You can make socks out of thicker yarn, but usually if you want socks that can fit in everyday shoes, that kind of thing, and feel comfortable, you use fingering weight yarn that has some nylon or silk or something for added strength and stability. And those are the ones we've been advertising the past few weeks for the sock knit along, of which I've picked 3 patterns. I don't know if I even got around to mentioning them yesterday, so I'll start mentioning them now. What?
I think so, but I can't remember. It was a long day.
Someone will tell us in the notes or in Messenger. Some people have sent me messages being like, psst. So the 3 patterns we've picked are Hermione's Everyday Sock, because it is one of the most popular on Ravelry, and I have completed one and I did really like it. Notice I did not complete a pair, I completed one. But my goal with this knit along is to get a pair done. I'm trying to get sorry, I blanked for a minute because I just remembered I forgot to change my name on this, so it's probably gonna have my name in the corner, but so Zoom's being weird
No
lately.
show
We film
notes.
no show notes. No, what was I saying? Oh, I'm trying to get a sample of each sock, one done in the next week or so, or at least started. So especially the ones I'm teaching classes on, so that I have gone through them and know what the challenges are, and we have a sample for y'all. So I'll show them off as I can. Not today because I'm not using this yarn. I'm using some other yarn. But okay, Hermione's Everyday Sock. It's by Erica Luder. It's fun. It's got minimal patterning on it. It's got a nice heel. We have knitters who it's their choice, go-to choice of sock, because they like how the heel is for a cuff down. And it's written for 2 circulars. The second pattern I've picked is Rose City Rollers, and it's an ankle sock. It's just got a little bit of rolled hem at the top, goes, and it's also at a cuff down, dives right into the heel right after you do about an inch of knitting for the cuff. And again, cuff down. It's on double point. It's written for double point needles. And then the last one I've picked is Mina's Vanilla Sock Recipe by Knitting Expat. And I off the top of my head, oh, I'm going to back up a step. No show notes. The Rose City Rollers is by Mara Catherine Biner. If you're looking for that on Ravelry, Hermione's and the Rose City Rollers are both free patterns on Ravelry. Mina's Vanilla Sock Recipe is by Knitting Expat Designs. It is not free. I'm going to try to get a link up on our website if you'd like to buy it, so we can give her the money, get the money to her. It's toe up. I wanted to put one toe up into the mix, and it's toe up. It's written for Magic Loop, which is one long circular. So I was trying to get the 3 methods I'm most comfortable with for small circumference knitting into the options. Some cuff down options, some toe up, at least one toe up option. Mina's Vanilla Sock Recipes actually has instructions for both cuff down and toe up. And they're all fairly basic. If you've never done a sock before, they all could be decent candidates to try your first sock with. Now, if you are a more experienced sock knitter, you can stick with one of these patterns to try something new, or you can pick whatever pattern you like, because I find people are very particular when it comes to socks. If they love socks, they are particular about what they love to do. That's fine. You don't have to do one of ours. You can do one of your own. If you want to, you can pick one of the yarns we're going to advertise today. So that being said, we should get to it. The last caveat I want to say on those patterns I picked is I picked ones that are written for the 3 different, what I like of small circumference knitting. There's also 9-inch circulars, and they're teeny tiny, and some people swear by them. I have not really tried them. Any of these sock patterns can be made with any of the other methods of sock knitting. Like you could use 2 circulars for the Rose City Rollers, or you could use double points for the Mina's Vanilla Sock Recipe. You just have to be willing to tackle that challenge if that is the type of small circumference knitting that you like. Be ready to adapt it, and it shouldn't be super challenging. Okay, so I'm going to start with the yarn I have in front of me. This is online made, the bamboo silk funky awesome ones, self-patterning that we showed off last week. And this is a different variation on a theme. It's online as well. The balls look totally different. They're the little like donut looking ones rather than the skeined up looking ones. This one is the 272 is the number of the whole bunch, and it has some silk in it. Liz is going to read stats in just a second. Here is, I'm close to the camera as I can. Here's an example of how they knit up. They are self-patterning. They're more stripy with maybe little hints of like checkering going or jacquard going on, but they're more irregular, stripy, and fun. So, Liz, what are the stats on this?
You get 400 meters to 437 yards per 100 grams.
It's classic sock fingering weight yardage. You
Yep.
should be able to get a an average size pair of socks out of one. Keep going.
They are 55% wool, 25% polyamide,
That's like the nylon we're talking about.
and 20% silk. It is merino superwash wool. It says that further down.
Further down,
yeah.
it says wool up top.
And then
This is
wool
a
type.
German company,
Yep.
so their English stuff that makes things more clear is in irregular spots
And
necessarily.
they're calling for a 2 millimeter to a 3 millimeter needle.
Mhm. And that's typical for sock knitting. So we have some fun, like, again, pretty like definitive stripiness going on in these, but not necessarily like every single stripe is the same thickness. So there's a regularity to the stripes, but it's not necessarily like we're going to get little single stitches of single colors necessarily in this. But again, that little bit of silk helps with the durability and the softness, and it's got the polyamide, which is like a nylon for more stretchy fun. So it's got a combo. It might be a little softer than just merino. So, but I haven't knit with this yet. This is also, before we talk about the colors, there's 6 colors.
I only see 5. You have 2
Oh, I
of
have 2 of the same.
balls.
I'll go see if I can find one while we're talking. One is that one, and one is the purpley one.
Yes.
But there are, I had 6 balls, so I'm like, I'm good. These are the same color. Thank you for noticing, Liz. It's a limited run of colors. So once we're out, we're out. They take a whole new one next time. What is that color number? So when I go over and look, I can look for the one that's
This
like
is
it, but different.
2384.
And these don't have names, they just have numbers. 2384. What are the colors on that? Well,
The colors on this, you've got a nice aqua blue, you've got a periwinkle-ish blue, you have a denim blue, there's navy blue. It's a nice range of all the different blues. And then we have color number 2382, and it's a lot like the flames in the cascade that we did last week, I think. It's got reds and oranges, and there's little bits of us purple, and it's pale though. It's not like flaming. It does have some of the little jacquard checkers for that I can see. I think the blue one did too, but they were harder to spot.
Yeah, I think we
So-
might not have that other color anymore. So
That's that one.
I think the purple one is gone. So the more purpley, or the other one, because these are all the same.
Is that one.
I think we only have one of the aqua tealy gray that she's describing, because I see 3 other skeins here of it. But if we have another blue color in there in the system, I'll take a look and we'll put it up online. Whoa.
This one is
I
20.
think that one had darker blue and darker purple, and it was popular, so we don't have it.
This one's 2386. It's like reds and raspberries and purples,
Deep
and
purple and
pinks,
stuff.
and
I like that one. That one's really pretty.
there's
I mean, they're
even
all
a
pretty.
light purple. It's really cool.
This is 2385, and it has lime green, and it's not olive. There's like a sagey green.
Yeah. Gray.
There's gray, there is a darker blue, and there's a darker green in it, almost like an evergreen in there. So I'm going to try to put up a photo of the poster in our shop when we list it online, so you can see a close-up of how these knit up. The last one, as always, they always have one that's just grays, and that is 2381. And it is all different shades of gray, and some of them are warmer and some of them are cooler, but that one's really fun too. Did you say what we were retailing them for?
I
Liz?
did not,
Why do we always forget that?
because
I'll say, since your hands are busy, we're retailing this for $27.95. but it's 15% off this week with the code product of the week with spaces at checkout. Please make sure this is in the product of the week category online before you try the code, because that is the signal that I've done all the work on the back end. So, all right. The other sock yarn, which is the one that you're knitting with, this is fun because not everyone can wear wool socks. So we have a limited number. This is a sock yarn that once we are out of these colors, we are out of these colors for the foreseeable future, because I don't think we work with this company at the moment. I don't know if we have access to reordering this at the moment. So what we have is what we have. Shakameyer Regia yarn, which they make lovely sock yarns. We just don't carry a ton of them in the shop right now. We go in and out of certain vendors that we work with, just be completely honest with you. But this is a cotton yarn. Cotton with that elasticity. It's got the nylon or polyamide. It's got one of those in it. So that gives it a little bit of spring for knitting socks. And it's designed for summer socks or for people with wool allergies. And this one's called Tutti Frutti color. It's one of my favorites because they're designed to self-pattern and kind of look like fruit, or they're inspired by fruit, right? Yeah. Read some stats, Liz.
So we have 72% cotton, 18% polyamide, and 10% polyester. 100 grams gets you 420 meters, which is 459 yards.
So this little ball has more yardage than this one.
Yeah.
Go figure. But staying for 100 grams. Yep.
Machine washable. They're recommending a US 1 to 3 or a 2 to 3 millimeter.
That's what a 2 to 3 millimeter is a US 1 to a US 3. And about 100 grams should get you a pair of socks, is what they're saying. What are we retailing this for?
We are retailing this for $19.75.
Fantastic. 15% off that price this week with the code product of the week. And so here's the fun of the colors. Liz is holding and knitting with. Are you going to make a ranunculus?
I am making. So I'm not participating necessarily in the sock knit along. I am making ranunculi out of sock yarn.
So she's kind of like combining knit alongs. I don't know, but it's all good.
This one's watermelon is the colorway, and it's almost more salmony than pink.
Yeah, but it's got kind of a corally salmony pink and more watermelon darker color pink. Yeah. And a little bit of the light green you would see with the rind. And what I want to do is hold so you can see that little sock. That's what it's supposed to do if you make a sock width of stitches out of it. Now Liz is going to do something different because a collar and the whole sweater is gonna
it's gonna pool in weird ways.
It's gonna combine the colors in weird ways, not necessarily a regular striping like this. So this one's watermelon and the number is 2421 in case you're looking for numbers. Do you want to hold that up? How it's going?
Yeah.
She's just started the collar, but it's super cute.
So I get different pops of colors depending on where you're looking on the sweater.
Because something that's designed to stripe when it goes like this thin around, when you do something bigger with it, is going to behave in unpredictable ways, but hopefully kind of
also cool putting it on a 10.5 needle.
As she does, right? What I am holding is orange, and it's 2416 is the color number, but it is orange, and it has kind of a creamsicle look to it with an off-white that's kind of warm, and orange and yellow oranges. And I'm gonna hold this up super close to the camera so you can see what it would do. All right, what do we got next?
I have dragon fruit, or 2419 for the color number, and it is pale pink, dark medium pink, green, and then little black dots in the pale pink, which make it look very much. Where's the
you had it? You just turned past
sock.
it.
There it is. It looks just like the dragon fruit.
Yes, it's cute. The little black flecks in it. It almost makes me think of like pale watermelon with seeds.
Yeah.
But it's dragon fruit, which I think that's, I mean, I just don't really know what dragon fruit looks like, but it looks like that, right?
There's a picture on the...
No. I was saying I've never seen one in person, like in front of me.
Wegmans had them.
Remind me of what I miss. Fine.
It's like a pink green, you know.
Okay. Moving on. This one is strawberry. And there is a picture of strawberries on here, as well as a picture of the sock you could get with this. And it has all different shades of pink in it, which is kind of fun. And then little fleckies of like cream and pinky red. I see at least 4 or 5 different shades of pink, and some are cool and some are warm. And I'll hold it up close so you can see. None of it is super, super dark. So I would say that the darker pinky reds kind of look more like the outer layer of a strawberry. And most of it looks more like the inner layers, the inner texture of strawberry, but it's meant to stripe. So
I've got color number 2418, kiwi.
The
and
kiwi one's cute.
It's got dark green and light green and some brown and little blacks.
If you like brown and greens.
And there's some cream in there.
And yeah. And there's the little kiwi. Yep. So this last one is this is papaya. Wa-cha-cha. This has one of the most variations of color in it, I think, because it's got some ecru creaminess with the black flecks, because you know a lot of these have black seeds in them. And then we also have some yellow and some green and some orange, and the orange is pretty darn bright. But here we go. This is the papaya. So one of these should be enough for a pair of socks. We have limited quantities. I couldn't even tell you. I want to say we have a lot of the orange. We have a handful. We have a couple of watermelon left. Liz is using only 2 for her ranunculus because putting it on big needles, she shouldn't need that. So we're going to see how far it goes. Somewhere at home, I have started a pair of socks with these. I have no idea where it is. Maybe I will scour my house this weekend for them and see if I can find them and see what color they ended up being in. And I'll show y'all on Tuesday, on like the last day of our 15% off. I'd rather not cannibalize another ball for my own making stuff, but so I'll have to go home and see if I can find whatever I had. I want to say I might have been making it out of the dragon fruit because it was the closest we had to the watermelon at the time, because we were like, we didn't have the watermelon. And I thought that was the coolest ever, but it might have been the kiwi. I can't remember. If I find it, I will show it to y'all. Maybe I'll even find it tonight if I go home with purpose. So maybe, you know,
it is Wednesday.
I just know if I do that, it'll cover you up. I'm trying to put it on the little stand we have there. The last thing that we are going to offer 15% off, and I'll try to actually get up online. When we ordered from Katrinkles for the crawl, we ordered some socks rulers. Basically, they don't have our logo on them, right? They're just the generic ones, but they're super cute. And they have it's so if you put them into your knit, like say you're doing toe up, you can estimate where you should stop based on the sock size, the shoe size of the person you're knitting for. I don't know if you put your own foot on here, if you can tell where you should stop for the heels. I think it's more if you're knitting for people and you don't have their foot in front of you to try on yourself, you can use this. I think.
I want to say that Carol, one of our sock knitters, has a piece of paper with everybody's foot, like where to start the heel on it. And I'm pretty sure you could make marks on that as well. Probably on the back would be, you know, helpful.
I mean, once someone buys this, they can do whatever they want with
it. Yeah. But she has marks for all the people she makes socks for.
And you know, you could do that, or you could buy one of these.
Well, no, I'm saying combine the two because you know.
I'm being difficult. I'm sorry, Liz. So
okay.
this lists US women's shoe sizes, men's shoe sizes, European shoe sizes, and it has inches and centimeters running the length of it. And then it also has the helpful advice of what the negative ease, which again, remember, positive ease is extra space, negative ease is minus space. Like socks, you don't want to make them to exactly fit if you're not trying them on yourself. If you're just knitting, you measure across it. You want it to be smaller, a little smaller than someone's foot, so that it'll keep its shape when it's on the foot. It'll expand just slightly. Again, that nylon helps, especially with the cotton. And it has guidelines for what you should do to make sure it fits somebody. So I think this is super helpful and useful. And we are retailing them for $26.50, but they are 15% off this week. All this information in a nice little shape that will fit in your sock to measure it for you. Ta-da! I think it's super cool. So again, 15% off with the code product of the week. Please make sure it's in the right categories before you try the code, or else it might not work. So as I drop it, not a thing. We should go open the shop up in just a few minutes. If we have a few minutes to get ready, all the merrier for me trying to get this stuff online before we publish this video. But think about the ones that have nylon or polyamide and silk and do stripy things. Think about the ones that that have some cotton in them if you want. Think about, take a look at those 3 patterns: Hermione's Everyday Sock, Rose City Rollers, Mina's Vanilla Sock Recipe. I'll try to put them all in the description so you can check them out. And we have some needles in stock right now. Those are not part of the discount this week. I will be reordering them as I am able. I order from a company that takes at least a week to come in. So if we run out of something, we will get it back in as quickly as we can. If you can be patient. We have no yarn in the shop. That's our joke. For anyone who's like, what? It's a sarcastic joke. Please do not get worried. Look at all the yarn. This is not a fake background. This is us. So yes, I'll do my best to keep needles in stock. Most of those recipes, most of those patterns take 1s or 0s. You can make them on bigger needles if you want. Yeah, I know she hates that. Terrified of small needles. You can make them on bigger ones if you want. Know that it might change the size it comes out just a hair. I mean, they're all so teeny tiny. We're talking a quarter of a millimeter difference between some of these. I will do my best to stock up on these within the first half of June. That's the best I can promise right now. At some point, we'll start thinking further ahead on our knit-alongs and prepping, but May was a really busy month, so it was hard to prep ahead. I had thoughts and they didn't happen.
Who are we kidding? We don't prep ahead for...
I'm trying. I have hopes and dreams of doing better in the future, Liz.
Here, feel this. It's so soft and squishy.
It's gonna distract. Ooh, I'm distracted now. Okay. It is actually really nice and soft. So tomorrow is Dear Becky and Lizzy. If you have any questions for us to talk about, email them
to liz@sundragonartandfiber.com.
Yes. And if you don't send us questions, we will go off on our sock knit along more and talk about whatever we feel like talking about. Then Friday we have virtual sit and stitch again. We had a lovely robust like 16 or so last night. That was fun. Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. Get into Zoom with the shop phone number
828-877-3550.
And then we repeat everything next week. Yay! Our next Sunday dual platform virtual sit and stitch is June 12th. So that will be on Facebook Live and Zoom. Shop phone number to get in, all that kind of stuff. We will go over more details as that gets closer. But for now, check out social media, check out all that kind of stuff. I'm starting to post what I'm starting of the socks just to give you some flavor and enticement for those if you'd like to. We have a robust knit along group, Sun Dragon KAL, that is going to just keep adding in the new knit along things, and the old knit along stuff will still be there, which I think is kind of fun. And that's on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, we have general sit and stitch times, both in person starting in June. They'll be outside. weather permitting. And on Zoom, we got the Tuesday and Friday night, and once a month we've got the Sunday. The in-person ones, weather permitting, outside. If it rains, we're going to send everybody home, or just, don't come out if it looks like it's going to be nasty. It's going to be Wednesday mornings from 10 to 12 and Saturday afternoons from 1 to 4 is what we're going to start. We're going to try starting in June. I'm going to have classes on Rose City Rollers is going to be June 4th and 18th. That is they're Saturdays at 10. And contact the shop because you need to reserve a spot if you'd like to do that. I'm only doing in-person classes right now because virtual ones are too challenging with our shop hours. I'm going to do Mina's vanilla. I want to call it Mina's everyday sock, and I'm like, that's not right. Mina's vanilla sock recipe is going to be the next 2 Saturdays, which I want to say is the 11th and the 20 something. I can't remember all my dates right now. But contact the shop if you are interested in taking that one to find out more information, or go to sundragonartandfiber.com/calendar. And Liz has it pulled up. Our subscriber numbers just keep going up. Yay. And y'all know we will have a sale only for you when we hit 1,000. What are we at?
We're at 977.
We have 23 people to go before you get the mother of all online sales from us. So, because we're probably not going to go above, like when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to have a 30% off sale. And that's probably as high as we are willing to go for a percentage off sale. So keep track of that. Subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, keep track of, even if you're behind on episodes, if you see us hit 1,000 subscribers, watch episodes in that area so you can figure out what's going on. But yes, we have Patreon if you'd like to support us and the work we do, patreon.com/sundragon. Or contact the shop, buy stuff from us, make a donation, all that good stuff. We love y'all. We hope you're having fun hanging out with us, and we got to go. We'll see you tomorrow. I got to go put all this stuff up online.
Well, at least it's contained to take pictures, because
because that just takes no time.
No.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.